I'm Robin Greer, President of Catalyst Communications. Today we'll talk about an important innovation that Catalyst has made for connecting first responders or other critical communications groups using push-to-talk. We'll talk about it both in the context of connecting traditional land mobile radio to broadband services that use push-to-talk, as well as connecting multiple broadband services together that are using incompatible push-to-talk over broadband services. The solution that we have created is very simple for the dispatcher, the administrator, the technician, whoever it is that's charged with managing interoperability for your agency. For those of you who have worked with multiple push-to-talk services, you understand that there's several challenges regarding those talk group or channel names. The first is that oftentimes channel names, talk group names tend to get reused by different organizations for totally different groups, and that creates a lot of confusion. That's a long-standing problem, and one of the organizations that addressed that is the National Public Safety Telecommunications Council. They put out a report back in 2018 addressing this called Mission Critical Push-to-Talk Considerations for Interoperability and Talk Groups. And so that report is sort of foundational. The second challenge, and the one that I really want to talk about today, is how do you simplify the management of these different talk groups as well as the LMR channels? How does an administrator know which talk groups ought to be patched together to effectively enable communications between these different groups? Catalyst started with that 2018 NIPSTIC report and built on that in our implementation and our recommendations as to how do we simplify and even automate interoperability. The recommendation that we have made is for the talk group naming convention for administrators and dispatchers to manage interoperability between multiple push-to-talk services. In the simple explanation of our recommendation is that the administrator append the talk group name with the @ symbol, like we use in an email address, in the name of the domain of the originating system, the home system that they're trying to connect to. Let me explain with this diagram here. You'll see that we've got group one, and that is actually on FirstNet. That is the home service for that particular talk group. And another agency that is using SouthernLink wants to be able to mirror that talk group, to be able to monitor it and talk back when they have interoperability between those services. So our recommendation is that the agency with the SouthernLink system create a group called Group 1, the same name is on the FirstNet, but then append to it the symbol, the @ symbol, and FN for FirstNet or whatever that domain name is. That way, dispatchers, administrators, and others can see that name, that it stands out to them, and software, and we've developed this software, recognizes those symbols and makes that recommendation to the administrator and to the dispatcher to automate that process. And that can be particularly important in simply setting up interoperability in the beginning, where you have lots and lots of different talk groups that might need to get patched together in the future from lots of different agencies. The key message here today is that you consider this recommendation that we've made, and particularly as you're setting up new talk groups for your broadband services, that you consider using this naming convention that will then simplify and signal to your partners as to what these groups are for. Catalyst has broad expertise in public safety communications and understands the challenges of designing these complex solutions that allow first responders and others to talk to each other. I encourage you to contact us to learn more about the importance of planning for your organization's future communications environment, especially as you move to LTE and other broadband technologies, and as those become more prevalent in our country. I'd also encourage you to request a copy of our white paper for managing interoperability and naming conventions. Thank you.